Hello and welcome to the Vetter discussion. My name is Ryan. We have a fantastic show planned for you today. Today, I'm going to ask you the question, are you betting or gambling with crypto pre-sales, using, Binance, Ethereum, etc., but also the difference between betting and gambling in your own personal life. We have some fantastic announcements that were just recently announced in Telegram. We're going to go over that as well. It's going to be a fantastic call. So welcome again to the discussion call. My name is Ryan. I'm so glad to be your host. And today we're going to cover how best to utilize the Vetter platform. Now, this call is going to be interactive, so feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions or comments, or drop your questions or comments in the chat below. Now, whether you're a veteran in our community or you're brand spanking new, today I'm going to show you how best to utilize, hands down, the best research tool in the crypto space, which is the Vetter platform and Vetter ecosystem. Now, if you're watching this right now and you don't know what Vetter is, you don't know why we're excited, you don't know how we're getting the results we're getting, hey, don't worry, it's okay. Go ahead and visit vetter.ai. You're able to learn about what our project is, what we're about, and how so many people are getting such fantastic results because of two things. One, artificial intelligence. Number two, crowdsourced intelligence, which, by the way, is my favorite part of the Vetter platform and Vetter ecosystem. Crowdsourced intelligence, to me, means being able to connect with and work with people from all over the world to share ideas and thoughts, strategies, because people have different experience levels, different perspectives. But again, coming together to share these ideas and concepts to find the next 2x, 5x, 10x, 100x, and beyond. That's the purpose of the Vetter platform, is to help you get the kind of results you want to get in the crypto space. Now, just out of curiosity, go ahead and drop a comment below letting me know how long you've been a part of the Vetter community. Whether you've been here since day one, when it was just an idea and a concept, or you came at the launch of the platform, or maybe you're brand new. Maybe you're brand new. If you are brand new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. And be sure to get some notes out, take pen and paper, write some notes, because what we're going to share today is going to have a major impact in your life. We do these calls 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at the same time. And the feedback I've been getting from the community, this has been really helpful for them developing and growing. And just one of the things I do want to say, I've been really fortunate to be able to learn from a lot of different people. I've had some great mentors over the years, and 90% of the stuff that I cover and talk about, it's not me. It's not. I didn't create that. I didn't make that up. Okay, it's passed down to me, and I feel I'm in a place in life where I want to give back. I want to share the information that impacted my life in hopes that, and the intent that it impacts you as well. And so I'm simply the messenger. I did not craft, the entire message. I'm simply the messenger. And I really enjoy giving back and pouring into other people because that's what was done for me. And it made a big difference in my life. Now, one of the things I will say is, first and foremost, I'm not a financial advisor. Okay. Anything we talk about today is not financial advice and not to be taken as such. Okay. You need to consult with experts who do that. Anything we talk about today is not financial advice. I'm literally showing you how to utilize a platform, how to get connected in a community, how to find projects that have potential. That's what we're talking about today. If anything, I may be giving you some advice as far as like head game or mindset, but it's definitely not financial advice. So it's not to be taken that way. Number two, the Vetter platform is a research tool. A research tool. It is not a crystal ball. A lot of people come in, they say, hey, show me the next 10x. Hey, it doesn't work like that. If it did work like that, we'd be billionaires. Okay. It is a research tool to support you in finding the next 2x, 5x, 10x, 100x, and beyond. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into some announcements. Now, there was a big announcement that came today. We've been behind the scenes building a lot of the infrastructure out, working things out, and this announcement is super, super cool. Now, I'm the kind of person who takes notes. I follow really closely and take notes, and then when I start putting my notes together, I can see the path that we're on. And some other people, they don't necessarily like reading between the lines, and they want to be told, and they want these different things to come out. Here is the update for June 7th. Okay, while it may seem like things are moving slowly, there's tremendous excitement behind the scenes and what feels like a dizzying speed of progress on a daily basis. As I said before, there are things going on behind the scenes that people have no clue about. And the progress that's been made is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sometimes it's hard to see. It's hard to be excited about something that you can't see. Okay. Our team recently stole the show in Croatia and Rome at two big crypto events. And right now, Robin's going to be speaking in Berlin this next couple of days. And again, connecting with developers and influencers to talk about the upcoming launch. Okay. The response has been overwhelmingly positive. Relationships have been formed with executives at Binance, with influencers and leaders across the industry. The seeds that are being planted right now, guys, like this is amazing. Ladies, gentlemen, this is absolutely fantastic. Okay. These contacts are affluent investors, influencers who gave us their information in person after interacting with our team directly. Most of these contacts represent large networks of their own. These lists position us light years ahead of where we were just a few months ago in terms of reach and influence. But there's so much more happening. Okay, we'll do, let's see. We'll have to cover most of the exciting details on our next major event scheduled Wednesday, June 22nd at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. London time. That is a day we anticipate unveiling the new Favour ecosystem website while taking it live. All right, so there's a date for you to put on your calendars, June 22nd, again, Pacific noon, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. London time. Be introducing the Favour ecosystem, taking it live, announcing the launch date for the anticipated Launchpad token with staking. Okay, so those are just the highlights of that. Again, if you want to read the whole post, feel free to check out Telegram and read the whole post there. Next, like I said, announcement is Berlin. That is happening June 7th through the 9th. And there's going to be a booth there. Again, this is going to be the Blockchain Oracle Summit, which goes hand in hand with the Favour Oracle. You know, we have AI with the Oracle on our platform. And Robin's going to be speaking there. And I've seen some of the content from Croatia. I've seen some of the content from Rome. It is fantastic. I will just leave it at that. It is top-notch, absolutely amazing. The commitment level from the team and what we've been up to, what we've been working on since the beginning is second to none. I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal. With the vision this big, the action and commitment is matched. And that's why you see the excellence and the accuracy in what is being pushed out. Shout out to Radical. He's Scout of the Week last week. He's absolutely crushing it this week. If you've been watching his projects, he's absolutely crushing it. Just go ahead and type in chat if you were able to get in some of his projects. I know I was able to last week, and they're absolutely phenomenal. He's doing a great job. His latest project, Frog Inu, funny name, great results. Let's go ahead and look at the chart real quick. Let me show you what I mean by great results. So this right here, down here, this is the first day, okay? This is the first day. Now, when you see a chart like this, without scale, if you don't know anything about this project, you're like, hey, this looks like a normal chart. Okay, this looks like a normal chart. You know, up and to the right, that's always a good thing. Absolutely, it is. But here's what you may not be able to see right off the bat. First of all, we're on the hour time frame. Okay, usually when you see me talking about projects, I'm on the 5-minute or the 15-minute, if you've seen posts in Telegram. But right here, this little high right here, it doesn't look like much. Okay, it doesn't look like much, especially when you compare it to the next 7 days. But this is the first 24 hours of the project. 24 hours of the project, and we are sitting at right around a 5x. Okay, right around a 5x for this project. Okay, absolutely phenomenal for the 24-hour time frame. Okay, 5x for Frog Inu in the first 24 hours. And also, guys, that's not the all-time high. That is the Favour audited highest low. That means that someone in the community, token holders, literally had an opportunity. They had over an hour to sell at a 5x. Okay, the all-time high was a 6x, but people had over an hour to sell at a 5x, which is absolutely phenomenal. So let's zoom back out and let's look at the 7-day time frame. It just clicked over to the 7 days. And yeah, you're thinking, wow, if this was a 5x, what's this? Well, let's just take a look, shall we? Let's take a look. Drum roll, please. 3,950%, which is a little over 40x. 40x, which is awesome. I mean, it's fantastic. But what makes it even more fantastic, what makes it super fantastic, again, that's not the high. That's not the all-time high. This is the Vetter audited highest low. That means that token holders had over an entire day, okay? Over an entire day to sell at a 40 plus X. That's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the high is right there, like 68, 69x. Okay, but again, hey, that's the high. That's what a company would brag about. We don't do that here at Better. We do things differently. People literally had over 24 hours, an entire day to sell at over a 40x. Absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. People are talking about, oh, the market this and the market that. At Better, we're doing what we call ride the bear. There's been talks in Telegram about this is what it looks like to ride the bear. Okay, absolutely phenomenal. So hey, congratulations, Radical. You're doing a fantastic job. And if you happen to be following Radical, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's been having some rock star projects and getting some rock star results. So again, congratulations, brother. Very well done. You're doing a fantastic job. Let's jump back over to our slides here. So today's topic, we're going to be covering the idea and concept of, are you betting versus gambling with crypto pre-sales? You know, whether it be on Binance, whether it be on Ethereum, or any other network. You know, crypto pre-sales can happen on all different types of networks. So again, are you betting or gambling with crypto pre-sales on Binance or Ethereum, etc.? And we can take it a step further and even say, are you betting or gambling in life? What is the difference between betting and gambling? See, right off the bat, they may sound really similar. It may sound like the same thing. Like, hey, what's the difference? What's the difference between betting and gambling? Let's break it down like this. Betting is investing in yourself, knowing what you're capable of, understanding what you have. So for example, if Adam were to say, hey, you know what, Ryan, I'm going to beat you at a push-up contest. I would not take that gamble because I don't know how many push-ups Adam can do. That's risky. If there was a wager on the line, there was money on the line, and if I lost, that's a risk. That's a gamble. I don't know how many push-ups Adam can do. But if it came down to, Ryan, I bet you can't do 50 push-ups, I would take Adam up on the bet because I know what I'm capable of. I know I'm capable of doing that. I know that I can do 50 push-ups. Okay, if someone were to bet me or put up a wager and say, hey, a running race, say, hey, I can beat you, in a 5K. That's a gamble. I don't know how fast they are. I don't know what they can do. Okay, but if someone said, I bet you can't run a 17.5-minute 5K, that's betting. I'm betting on myself. I know I'm capable of that. I would take him up on the offer because I understand and know what I can do. Okay, does that make sense? The difference between gambling and betting. Gambling is there's no risk, there's control. There's no control, it's risk, it's chaos, uncertainty. You're unsure of what the outcome could happen. It may work, it may not work. You don't know. Betting, another way to look at it, is stacking the odds in your favor. Knowing what the outcome is going to be. Knowing that you can do X, Y, Z because of past experiences, because of past history. Knowing that you can do that. That's the difference between betting and gambling. So what does it look like in the crypto space? Well, it's real simple. If you just log in and hop on Pink Cell and just get in a project right away without doing anything, Go ahead and type in the chat. Is that betting or gambling? You just jump into a pre-sale. No questions asked, no nothing. You literally just saw it. This is the first time that you even looked at the project. Do you think that's betting or gambling? The answer is gambling. Absolutely, gambling. You know nothing about the project. You know nothing about anything about the project. Like that's just like totally unknown. Like that's like flipping a coin. Like oh, you may win, you may not win. The reality of the situation is a lot of people come to the crypto space with a gambling mentality and they win a little bit and they think that they're a genius and they do it again and they do it again. And at some point they're going to lose everything because they're not a genius. They're kind of an idiot. But because they won in the beginning, they have confirmation to say that they're a genius. So if we were to do betting in the crypto space, what do? Well, we talk about on our calls, we talk about a volume of launches. Why do we do a volume of launches? Why do we do a VOL, volume of launches? Why do we do that? We do that to understand our own KSP, knowledge of system performance, or to understand the Scout's KSP, knowledge of system performance. And through a volume of launches, we have data points and we understand that every 10, every 20, every 30, every 40, these are the results that we can get. And when you realize that a Scout has a 60%, 70%, 80% success rate with an average gain of a 4x, you realize that you're stacking probabilities in your favor. And that's betting. You realize that all you got to do is follow the system. This is less to do with whether you win or not, and it has more to do with understanding the system in which you are utilizing. Does that make sense? Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if this is making sense. Betting is all about stacking probabilities in your favor. So when we're looking at a project and we're looking at a website, we're saying, you know what? This website looks really basic. It looks like we could have made this ourselves. You know, one afternoon we could hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork, and maybe they can create us a real quick, WordPress template, and we can get that up and running. So that is a probability. So I'm saying if that were the case, that's going on the negative side of things. That's going on the negative side. If it was a website that was like totally custom and it was like good, like what Vetter's creating with accuracy and with precision and with excellence and with clear branding, okay, clear intentionality, okay, where on all pages things work and function like they're supposed to, like someone actually cared, like they had a vision, okay, to make something amazing and show up with excellence. I have a different feeling when I see a website like that. That's not oh, this is pretty basic. No, it's like, wow, this is really good. Someone really cares about this project. Someone like had intentionality behind this. Like they're invested. Okay, so I would put a 1 point towards a quality website. So I'm stacking probabilities. Okay, it's got a good website. They've invested. Okay, so we start looking at Telegram. Okay, how many pin messages are there? What's the communication like? How old is a Telegram group? If it's a brand new Telegram group that's like a week old, it's got 5,000 members, no pin messages, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what's going on here? This doesn't look very good to me. Okay, again, that would go in the negative category. On the flip side, they're in voice chat, they're answering questions, there's a bunch of pinned messages with useful information in there. The Telegram, maybe has 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 actual real people who are talking and communicating. It's not bot. It's like, oh, hey, this looks like it's a legit group. The Telegram group has been open for a handful of months. Okay, great. They've been actually building and working towards something. That's a probability I stack in my favor. Hey, I think this could work out. I think this could be good. Okay, some people, they look for a team that's doxed or KYC, like official, like the real deal. Some people don't care. It's okay. There's not a right, wrong. It's what's important to you. You may not care about the things I brought up, and that's okay. It's all about what works for you. It's all about the system that you're looking for and how over and over again through a volume of launches, you recognize that this is the pattern that you're looking for. And those are the results that you're getting, and you're happy with it. At the end of the day, guys, that's what's important. A system that you can follow and believe in and not beat yourself up if a project doesn't go the right way. Why? We're stacking probabilities. Okay. Do we have 100% control over everything? Absolutely not. Are people still going to be knuckleheads? 100%. Are people still going to have like some type of shenanigan? Maybe, it's possible. We're just doing everything we can to check our boxes and say, you know what, this looks good to me. There's enough positive on this project. I'm willing to go at it. It makes sense. Okay. So some people like a docs team. Some people like, I don't care. Some people like KYC. Some people like, I don't care. But look at it. My personal philosophy on doxing is one or the other. On the spectrum, I'm either looking for a team who's all in, all out doxed. Socials, names, experience, former education, like, go to LinkedIn, it's like real legit information. Okay. Voice chats, video chats, AMAs. I want to see their face. Like, I like that. They're sharing everything about what they're up to because they have nothing to hide. Or the opposite end of the spectrum for me is nothing. And the only thing you hear about the team is on the frequently asked questions. Someone says, are they doxed? And the frequently asked questions, it says, the team has decided to be anonymous because we like the idea of cryptocurrency and being anonymous. However, we are committed to doing X, Y, Z, and this is what we do. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a company acknowledging that. Okay, some projects are great that the team is not doxed, and some projects are horrible when the team is doxed. This is not something that's a guarantee, but you got to find what works best for you to make it the difference between betting versus gambling. Okay. What I don't like, and what is a turnoff for me and a negative and a red flag for me, is any company that shows up in the middle of the spectrum. Okay. You got the fully doxed, fully exposed. You got the hidden. We want to be totally anonymous, but you got the guys who are pretending to be doxed. Those are the ones I worry about. Those are the ones I worry about. The guys and gals who, they have an avatar. And the CEO's name is like Dex25. It's like, well, what does that mean? Like, I would just rather you not say anything because you didn't tell me anything anyway. Like the teams that pretend to be doxed, I find that suspicious. Go in all the way in, or don't go in at all. I'm okay with both. It's just not in the middle. Don't do that. I saw a project the other day that the KYC company that they used was 3 days old. I brought it up in Telegram. I thought that was kind of concerning to me. That to me indicates it's a project that's not real serious. I mean, why would you use a company like that? I don't know. It seems super strange to me. But that's me. That's my personal opinion. Okay, you got to find what works for you. Okay, look at marketing. Okay, now this is something that's really important. This is something that Vetter experienced. All marketing is not created equal. Okay, so when the team says that they have marketing plans and they're going to do like, Telegram call channels, or they're going to do, Twitter references, they're going to have YouTube influencers, that costs a lot of money, and it doesn't mean anything. It only means something if it actually moves the price. Okay, so it's much better. Think back months ago, after the private sell for the upcoming launch. Mike had a very clear, concise, precise plan laid out for marketing, where the money's going, very detailed, very detailed. That's the kind of information I'm looking for when a team says marketing, not Telegram call channels. Okay, I've seen a couple lately. This is not to knock anyone specific, but there's a pretty big call channel. He has a pretty good reputation, and I saw a couple projects that were did AMA with him and were featured on his Telegram group. And like, guess what? The pre-sale took forever to fill. Like, what are you guys paying for? It's like, you get to verify and make sure that stuff is actually working. Okay, make sure that it's working out and it's good. Oh, going back to the docs team and things, I like to see the age of the team. Personally, I like to see how old they are. I like to think that some experienced individuals have the opportunity to have life experience and can weather the storm when something doesn't go right. Some of the younger guys, maybe they got lucky gambling. Now they're going to launch their own token. They want to be, make it to that next level. And when something doesn't go right, maybe they, they stress out about it, and they're non-responsive in chat. They just disappear because they haven't had those life experiences yet. Everything I'm sharing right now is the things that I look for, the things that we talk about on the call, and it's about stacking probabilities. And when I see a project that checks all these boxes, yeah, they're doing this and they're doing that, it's this and this and this and that and this is this, I'm saying, you know what? Wow, all the probabilities are stacked in my favor. And I feel like that's betting. I feel like because I understand the process, I understand that if enough of these check the boxes over a volume of launches, they're going to work out in my favor. That's betting. I'm betting on myself. I realize I've done my due diligence. I realize I've created processes and systems to help me recognize these different things about projects. And over a volume of launches, it's profitable. I'm betting on myself. Gambling would be, you don't know anything about the project. You just jump in. Gambling would be, you don't know anything about the scout and you just jump in. Okay. Let me see if I can explain this to make sure that it's really clear on what I mean by knowing something about the scout. If you know the success ratio of the scout and the average gains of the scout, you're betting. If you randomly get in a project on a scout with no data, you are gambling. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. The difference and distinction between those two. There's a very big difference. Okay, very big difference. Randomly going to our calendar and just jumping in a project, you could do the same thing. I won't say that actually. I won't say. I started to say you could do the same thing on Pink Cell. That's not accurate. That's not accurate. That's not as accurate. But like that is definitely a gamble. Hopping on the calendar, randomly picking one, it is a gamble. But once you understand what the scout has done, once you understand that the scout has a success rate, once you understand the scout is great, yeah, go for it. Okay. Now you could potentially also leverage the scout's reputation. Not to say that there's scouts that are bad and not to say that there's scouts that are rock stars. I'm just simply saying, if you've never heard of a scout and you find them, it's worth doing a little bit of due diligence. Look back at some of their projects, research it, see how they worked out. It's also worth doing a volume of launches with that scout. Follow their projects, see how it goes, see if a system and see if trends emerge. What happens after 10? What happens after 20? What happens after 30? You get an idea of the KSP. Then you're like, you know what? Look at this. I haven't lost any money. I haven't wasted any money, but now I have a plan. I know that 7 out of 10 are going to be winners, and the average gain is going to be a 2x. Now you have your money management in place. You know the scouts you want to follow. It's crystal clear, rock and roll. You're now betting because there's no guarantee on which project is going to do good. You may get in 3 in a row that tank. Okay, but that's okay because you understand that 7 out of 10 are winners. It's just a matter of time until you get back to the pocket of winning. It is what it is. It is what it is. So if this is making sense, give me a thumbs up. Perfect. So the idea of betting versus gambling, and think about it with your future as well. You have the opportunity to sharpen your axe. And yeah, it takes time and it takes discipline. It does. Like, there's nothing glorious about it. And I wish there was a way that I could, put some spin on it and make it look really sexy. But like, it's going to take a little bit of time and discipline. Sleepy said he gambled yesterday and lost. He's going back to betting. Okay, so I'll bring this up. And so one of the things that happened over the weekend was there was a project that had some red flags that came up later on. The project came up over the weekend. It looked really good. A lot of people were excited. Some people may have gotten into it because of the hype and FOMO. Some other people may have gotten into it because they actually did some research. But there were some red flags that were brought up, and that's fine. If you were looking at that project and it checked all your boxes and you're betting, hey, rock and roll, keep going. If you didn't see my announcement, about the red flags, hey, no big deal. Rock and roll, keep going. You're following your system. That's betting. That's a win. That's a win, guys. That's a win. If you happen to see the announcement, but the announcement did not make you feel negatively about the project and the pros outweighed the cons, hey, congratulations. That's betting. That's winning. No matter what the outcome, when you're betting on yourself, you're betting on your future, you're winning, no matter what the outcome. Okay, remember that, take that in and know that, like, as long as you're sticking to your plan, the outcome is irrelevant. And I'll talk about a story that my coach has always helped me with, and this is really good. Okay, but I want to circle back to that in a minute. Is if you're sticking to your plan, you're betting. You're not gambling. When you're sticking to your plan, you're betting. Okay, now the third type of person, they may have seen my announcement and been like, oh, crud. I really like this project, but man, that's super risky. Oh, well, yeet. Like, they go all in. It's all, like, they're like, hey, YOLO. And they jump in. Okay. And at that point, friends, that would be gambling. If something changes for you and you're like, you know what, I don't know about this project anymore. It did check my boxes, but if I were to look at it today, that's a big red flag. And if you decide to roll the dice, that is gambling. Okay. And if you gamble enough, you're going to lose. The house always wins. Okay. The house always wins. You gamble, you're going to lose. There's other people who FOMO'd into this project, no research, didn't know the scout. They over leveraged, meaning they had one BNB to invest. Instead of doing the minimum allocation, they got hyped up because they were going to get a free NFT character and maybe a free weapon. They're like, let me go one BNB. Let's do it. And they're gambled and they lost. And it is what it is. At the end of the day, no matter what tribe you're from, if you're from the betting tribe and you lost, it's not a loss. It's a -1. It's part of the system. It is what it is. You stuck to your plan. Congratulations. You're a winner. Realize and recognize you're not going to win them all. There's a calendar full of projects. On to the next one. Okay. If you're betting in that scenario, that's the mentality you get to have. If you're gambling in that scenario, you get to say, okay, that sucked. Okay. Take it in. Take in the pain. Okay. Take it in and remember how you felt. Okay. When they pulled the rug. Okay. Like, remember that feeling. Okay. Write it down. And remember the moment. Write down the thoughts that went through your mind that made you decide to not pull out or made you decide to FOMO in, whatever the cause. Write it down, because the sooner you break through those nonsense things, the sooner you can actually get on the betting side and start winning over time instead of hoping and wishing that a project goes in your favor. Like, the moment that you put the money on the line, the moment you hit submit for the pre-sale, like, all the work is done, the research is done. You are literally saying, I'm okay with either outcome. If you're nervous about it, that might be an indication that you're gambling. If you're worried about it, that might be gambling. If you're hoping that it does good and you say, you know what, I can lose the money, that might be gambling too. But if you're betting, you're like, you know what, it's part of the process. If it wins, great. If it loses, great. I'm good either way. That's betting. Okay. So does that make sense on that note? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. And I'm going to tie this together with something that my coach always tells me. What I'm getting at is, when you're betting, you're winning. Always, no matter the outcome. The outcome is irrelevant. Why? Because through a volume of launches, you're going to get the result that you want. Because you understand the system you're trading. Through a volume of launches, you're going to get the outcome that you want. So when I started working with my coach, I do the sport of triathlon. You swim, you ride, you run. That's my idea of fun. So I started working with my coach, and I'd have some running sessions, and I'd be disappointed about, I wanted to run faster, or I wanted to hit a certain split, and I'd be disappointed. And I would reach out to my coach and say, man, I'm better than this, and I should be doing this, and blah, 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 blah. And he always would respond with, did you get it done? I'd be like, yeah, I got it done. And, but it should be fast. He always would say, did you get it done? And I'd say, well, yes. He said, that's all that matters. All that matters is you showed up and you stuck to the system, you stuck to the plan, you put the work in, and you got it done. Because over a volume of training sessions, day in, day out, week in, week out, when race day comes, that's the end result we're looking for. We're not tied to what it looks like today, because one is one piece of the entire volume. You cannot determine your success based on one snippet of the entire volume. That's why a volume of launches is so important. That's why paper trading is so important to realize and understand that through a volume, that's how you gauge your results. Not on the one. One is not going to make or break you unless you're over leveraging, unless you're going one. If you only have one BNB to invest, you go all in. Yeah, that's going to break. That has the potential to break you. Okay, has the potential to make you. That's why it's called gambling. Okay, but with this, what we're literally talking about is if you're betting, if you're studying, if you're doing your volume of launches, if you're paper trading, that, my friends, is winning. Every time, that's winning. It doesn't matter the outcome. Okay, when you're in the game and actually putting money on the line and you don't win, that's okay. It's okay. It's part of the process. You're sticking to the plan. Now, if for whatever reason you're sticking to your plan and all of a sudden some things are not going to your liking for a period of time, maybe you evaluate at that point. Maybe the market has shifted. Maybe because you were normally getting 5Xs, for the last half of 2021, last year, Q4, Q3 of 2021, maybe you were getting 5Xs, and now you're in a place where like 5X isn't happening as frequently. And you start recognizing through a volume of launches that it's more frequent to easily get a 2X and rip FT to that 5 than sticking to a 5. Well, at that point, what do? You adjust your money management, you adjust your strategy. Why? Because you recognize through a volume of launches that things shifted and things changed. Does that make sense? One of the things I saw the other day, someone had said, someone's asked me before, how long do you paper trade? As long as it takes. There's no rush. You paper trade until you understand the system. Once you understand the system, you can get in the game with confidence because you're betting. But anytime you feel like you're gambling, you're going to lose. So if you're wondering, how long do you paper trade? How long do you just quote unquote not get in the game? First of all, you are in the game. Okay, you're practicing, you're in the gym, you're hustling, you're getting work done. Okay. But you paper trade until you have confidence in the system in which you're trading. And then you know what the success rate is, you know what the average gain is, and you're ready to go, and you haven't wasted a fortune trying to learn this lesson for free. Okay, learn. You can pay money for the lesson, or you can pay time for the lesson. It's up to you. Okay, both of them are going to cost something, time or money. Okay, but when you do actually get in the game, you actually now have funds to actually invest instead of starting over again. Okay, so with that is the idea and concept of betting versus gambling. Anytime you're spent right now investing in yourself, plugging into these calls, plugging into Telegram, plugging into Discord, asking questions, bringing up certain projects and asking questions about that is always betting on your future, investing in yourself and recognizing that you're getting better, you're getting stronger today. It's going to make you a better person, a better investor, a better crypto enthusiast, days from now, weeks from now, months from now. Always, always, always bet on yourself. Okay. So if that was helpful and makes sense, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I know that all that makes sense. And hey, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to raise your hand. I'll unmute you if you want to hop in or jump in and drop a comment. Yeah, Justin says he would never stop paper trading. Always do it alongside investing. It's impossible to know everything about every opportunity out there. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for tying a bow on that, Justin. I hope that whenever I said you get in the game, I hope I didn't make it sound like that's when you stop paper trading. No. It's always part of the process. It's what makes you better, what makes you good, what makes you legit and get the results that you want to get. So Justin, thank you for filling in the gap. If I wasn't clear on that, I appreciate you, brother. Let's see, Sarah, let me go ahead and unmute you.
Evening, Ryan.
Hi, Sarah, how are you?
I'm good. Just a comment, really.
Yes.
Something that I've noticed as well in terms of pre-sales. You know, when you're on Pink Sale, I look also as part of, when I'm doing my trades and stuff, is how quickly the pre-sale fills. I'm not necessarily always the first one to jump in, because there was one that I saw on the calendar and it looks good, but I was thinking, why isn't enough people buying in? And this is pre-sale. So I just thought, okay, if you're spending money on marketing and stuff like that, it should be better than it is. Whereas there was another project where they put loads of money in marketing and all that kind of stuff. And when it came to the actual buying of the pre-sale, it just flew and it's doing really well. Yeah. So that's why I put in the Telegram group about it. So that's why I was thinking sometimes even the speed of how people are jumping into pre-sale is an indication, and that's why I'm not always the first one in. I have my thing ready if I don't press the button yet until I see what the vibe is like.
Right, and that's a great insight. To be paying attention and having awareness. And so and thank you for sharing that, Sarah, because like this is something that you'll also learn when you paper trade. You're showing up to these pre-sales as if you were to invest. You're taking it seriously. Why? To get a feel for what's actually going on. It allows you to experience the pre-sale process. It allows you to watch to see how quickly things are or are not filling up. It allows you to recognize if for whatever reason some knucklehead was posting the wrong pink cell address in Telegram. And so it allows you to recognize like, oh, wait, I just clicked this pre-sale link. It's totally bogus. I saw one this morning. That showed pinkcell.finance. But when you actually click on it and it actually shows the link going to Pinkcell, it was a different website. And the beautiful thing about paper trading is it allows you to remember and practice the things that will support you in keeping you safe. Okay. And so the habit of always finding links and contract addresses from the pinned messages, when your mind is being flooded with dopamine and adrenaline because you're at a launch and you're so excited and the pre-sale is about to go live, you're just grabbing whatever you can because you don't want to miss out. Paper trading allows you to practice the discipline of going through the right steps and the right process, which will ultimately keep you safe in the long run. But on top of that, you're able to watch things and see things and get a feel for the whole experience. Like every one of these things are indicators, and it may be an indication that something that you look for example, how quickly a pre-sale fills. Okay. And some people may not worry about that. Some people may say, okay, I'll just wait and watch, see how quickly it fills. And the other may say, well, if it doesn't fill, I'll get refunded. And this comes back to a volume of launches, paper trading, understanding what happens when those things happen. Sometimes, I saw a pre-sale recently, 600 BNB filled in 3 minutes, and then 39 BNB was 1,200 BNB in 39 minutes. And it's wild. But I say that to say, you could watch that, get a good feel for it. Sometimes pre-sales fill instantly. And I say, wow, okay, didn't even have a shot. Okay. But familiarizing yourself with the process, that's one of the best benefits of not just not wasting your money, but familiarizing yourself with the process before your hard-earned money is on the line, and recognizing these things and being able to adjust and make sound decisions. Sleepy says, one time saw a fake pink cell site that was pinkcell.finance or finance. I guess they wanted to get married. Beyonce, yeah. It's crazy the extent that scammers will go. One of the things I was thinking about on my run this morning was just this idea of like, if scammers want your money more than you want to keep your money, they're going to get it. Okay? If scammers want your money more then you want to keep it. They're going to get it one way or the other. They're going to scam you from the wrong link, a wrong contract address. They're going to scam you in the form of like a project rug pull or a honeypot. Okay, they're going to scam you as in like airdrop contests. They're going to scam you as trying to get your seed phrases. Okay, if they want your money more than you want to keep it, they're going to find a way to get it. It's going to leave you. It's going to depart from your hands. All right. So with that being said, that wraps up betting versus gambling in crypto pre-sales. Whether it be on Binance, whether it be on Ethereum, etc., but also the idea of your own life. You know, are you betting on yourself? Are you doing the things that put you in position to bet on yourself, to believe in yourself, for opportunities to present themselves because you've been investing and betting on yourself? Okay, this is a big deal. Justin says, you know, strict routine is crucial to keep consistency in your strategies. Absolutely. So with that, we're going to jump into the calendar. Does anybody have any projects? We got about 15 minutes left. Does anybody have any projects that you want to go over today and want to get some eyeballs on? We can all, you know, look at together and share some thoughts and ideas on what we're seeing, what we're liking. Nobody has any ideas. Well, I'll just go find one myself then. So let's see here. Hey, brother, how are you? Oh, Justin.
Hey, bud.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, I got Defiancer that's coming up. That looks relatively promising. Trending well. It's in the middle of a fair launch or pre-sale
yes.
fair launch. There's a bit of momentum there. Things look pretty good. I thought it'd be worth having a look at.
Absolutely. I had noticed this project. When did I notice it? I think I started noticing it actually on I think I started seeing ads for it on maybe PooCoin. Maybe that's where I was seeing ads for it. Yeah, because so Dex Screener does not have any ads. So I must have seen it on PooCoin. So yeah, I was seeing this little logo. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it was definitely catching my attention. But one of the things that I liked about this was, let me make sure this is right. Yeah. So one of the things I liked about this project was the video that they had on Pink Cell. I thought this was a pretty cool video. We'll go to YouTube and watch it. I like to see how many views it has.
Why aren't you the landlord? Yes, you. Why aren't you the landlord?
Why aren't you the landlord? I don't know. But no, they have a pretty cool video. Hey
guys, Ronaldo here. On behalf of DeFilancer. First of all, let me just introduce myself. My name is Ronaldo Lauren, and I've been working as the project lead ever since the initial phase. DeFilancer is an upcoming project with a Web3 based model to ensure speedy blockchain movements. I know you.
Okay, so I'm not going to watch all that, but I'll let you guys check that out. So yeah, project is on the calendar. This is DeFilancer. But yeah, the first thing that stood out to me about this project was I really liked the feel and vibe of this video. Now, I will say, one of the things I look for when I go to YouTube is I like to see what the views are to actually see what's going on. Now, this was uploaded May 3rd. Okay. And so I say that to say, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that this video was actually done before Pink Cell started pushing out these videos on these profiles. Okay, I can't say that with absolute 100% certainty. I just know that it was a couple of weeks ago when Pink Cell started doing this, and the fact that they were uploaded almost 6 weeks ago, I think that's really cool. That they'd already had a plan to have kind of like a demo video. So I was a youth motivational speaker for a little bit of time, and demo videos are a really good way to showcase your project. And instead of tell people what you do, but actually show people what you do. And so I really like it when a team has something like this. I think it's highly, highly underutilized in the crypto space, but it's probably because there's a lot of knuckleheads in the crypto space and they would not do this anyway. So like a project that actually does it, I really appreciate. Now, one thing I will say about this, okay? So I like to see views, but you can pay for views. Okay, you can pay for views, And there's a lot of comments here. And like, it's just, that's a lot of support. It's a lot of support. The team is not interacting with that, with a lot of the comments. I wonder if these comments are also paid for. Okay. So if I'm saying, you know, pros and cons, I'm not saying this is like a deal breaker or a red flag. I am saying that it's likely that this is paid for. These comments could be paid for. I have not seen like any actual like engagement, but like here are 567 comments, and not that everybody is going to contribute or not, but like, you know, so we got a Telegram group with 15,000 members, but, you know, 546 contributors. And I know that, you know, been working with some of the team behind the scenes and just kind of evaluating Telegram numbers. And we've talked about how you can't always just totally rely on that number. But I would say, and again, this is not a red flag. I think that maybe they feel like maybe they need they need to have some kind of vanity number, but I would say that the numbers are probably really inflated on, I would say that they're probably really inflated. I think Twitter was the same way. Let me look. Oh yeah, let me look here for Twitter. I think Twitter had some big numbers, but the engagement was really low. 35,000 followers. Okay, that's really big. And so on their pinned tweet, you know, obviously there's a lot of engagement there, but if you look down, there's not hardly any engagement compared to the actual amount of followers. 35,000 is a lot. Okay. Again, this is not a deal breaker. I'm just saying that I wonder, and I suspect that some of the volume, when I say volume, I mean numbers, I think that they're paid for or they're fabricated and it's just vanity. So just take that into consideration. Okay. It doesn't mean that it's not a good project. It just, and obviously this is also not a red flag for me. It's just something I'm very curious about, you know, why they would want to have, you know, bogus numbers. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the website. So those are my thoughts on the socials. So I do like looking at socials to see what's actually going on. I would actually prefer to see a Twitter account with like 500, 1,000 members, but like, you know, 100 comments or, you know, retweets or something like that. Like it just, there's an authentic feel to it. Those numbers seemed way off to me personally. So let's go to the website. I did like the video though. The video is really cool. You know, I don't think this is a spoiler, you know. if you want to watch it yourself, you don't want me to spoil it, plug your ears. But no, I thought it was cool. They introduced the team and what the team does, and I just thought it was cool to kind of get to know the team. It was a nice touch. So the website looks clean. I like the cleanliness of the website. I like the fact that the team is here. Is this their YouTube video? It is their YouTube video. So their video is embedded on their website. The video is embedded on PinkCell. So they're going to get traffic from both of these, and both of these sources are going to add to the view count. So the 8,100 views is going to come from YouTube, whatever YouTube ads are running. It's going to come from traffic on the website and traffic on PinkCell. So that's where, you know, some of those views can come from. Yeah, so like not like anything like super fantastic about the website. Nothing. I mean, I like it. It's clean. I think it's pretty. I think it flows well. But there's nothing that like makes me think like, oh, this is garbage. On the same time, there's nothing that's like, oh wow, this is amazing. So I'd say it's a decent website. I think that there's time and energy put into it. Now here's something interesting. You know, 11 views, 13 views. I don't know if is that actually functioning. Is it now going to say 12? Maybe it doesn't update right away. I just thought those numbers were kind of low if people are actually coming to the site to investigate. So I don't see anything about the team. So check out the white paper. I mean, in their video, they do talk about themselves. But I was curious about, names and socials and bios and previous experience. Okay, so project lead and marketing. So both of them were in the video. Okay. Let's just go back to the Telegram group. And let's look at how old. So we got 87 pinned messages. I like that. Telegram, we got March 24th, but I think we can scroll up further than that. Okay, so the Telegram is not like, it's like two months old, 2.5 months. So maybe 8 to 10 weeks old. So, I mean, at least they didn't start last week. So it's, there's something going on there. Some intentionality is what I'm trying to say. They just didn't throw a Telegram together yesterday and get a website up today. And now they're trying to, launch and run their pre-sale. Let's see if we can search a little bit. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily look botted. We got some highs. Let's see if we have any highs here. There's always some kind of high. Okay, there's some highs here. Oh, the highs were from this week as well. That's kind of interesting. But this may not be intentional, as in, just we have random stuff joining our Telegram all the time. But what I want to see is early on, what did it look like early on? What did the highs look like early on? There's a lot of highs though. So yeah, that is the earliest message I have found so far. Okay, so about 10 weeks going for the Telegram pinned messages. Let's see about communication in the Telegram. Because so since I've joined, there's been 26 messages, but some of the stuff is just popping up for whenever someone contributes. So let's see if we can find some people who are actually asking some questions. Yeah, so I joined right there. Persistent. Oh, I'd prefer those not there as well, because like that can actually just fill it up, but actually there's no conversations happening. Okay, so right away I just see a lot of stuff for the pre-sale. I would get to dig a little bit deeper to see if some questions are being asked and answered, and also to see if there's hype. Right now there's more messages like this that I'm seeing, that instead of like conversations and people talking and being excited about the project. Voice chat. Let's see if they've ever done a voice chat. Oh, okay. So it looks like, did you join voice chat? So, okay, so they did a voice chat on Monday. And is there a schedule? Oh, no schedule. Okay. Voice chat was last week. Okay, so they're hopping in voice chat. Let's see about, since we're on that topic, AMAs. Upcoming marketing plan. Well, while we're on this, we'll just talk about marketing. Upcoming marketing plan before Pink Cell. Dex Tool banner, or Dex Tool, PooCoin. I saw these. BSC scan, token sniffer, Telegram DM marketing. Huh. I've never. What? Has anybody seen that before? Telegram DM marketing.
I get that almost daily.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that like people would actually pay for that. I just delete those messages.
Yeah, I do too. And I've actually found some pretty good scouted projects that way, believe it or not.
Yeah, I had no idea. I did not think that those were legit. And so I just totally dismissed them. But Justin, what you're saying is you've looked at some of these projects and they're actually pretty good.
Actually, I just recently did a project, Tribal Punks,
Yeah.
which did well. And that was somebody who DM'd me from some other group that we're mutually part of. And I clicked on it and I liked it. And then I started doing the research on it. And I thought, hey, it's not on the calendar. Why not? So I kind of looked at it. So yeah. So yeah, I see that quite often. And yes, 99.8% of them I delete, but
yeah,
thank God I didn't delete that Tribal Punks one.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, first of all, congrats, because Tribal Punk did fantastic. But no, anytime I get a DM, I don't even read it. I just dismiss it and delete it. And I'm amazed that companies would pay for that. But to Justin's point, sifting and sorting, but that's really cool. I'm going to be a little more attentive to that moving forward. That's wild. Okay. Hey, we learned something new today. Telegram direct marketing. All right. Don't dismiss them, hey, but definitely be skeptical. Remember, any DMs, super skeptic. Okay. Like, check it all out, keep yourself safe. Okay. Let's see. AMAs with big crypto influencers daily, Instagram celebrities before launch, Twitter influencers, PR articles, BCS news advertisements, YouTube marketing, CoinSnapper after launch, celebrity tie-ups, CoinMarketCap, crypto.com listing, Facebook. Okay. All right. So we got some marketing stuff. What were we searching? Oh, AMA. Yes. AMA. So that answered our marketing question. So this is okay. I like the fact that they, they're sharing everything that they have, but it would also be, I like it when projects share a little bit more than just the standard, this is what we're doing. But I guess in a way, that could be their secret. They don't want other projects to know what they're doing exactly. But this is pretty detailed. Some companies will just say Twitter influencers, AMAs, and we're going to the moon, boys. So the fact that I can appreciate the fact that they have this mapped out, I definitely can like that. So let's see. What I'm looking for is any AMAs they've done in the group, and if they recorded it. Comment above, AMA was recorded where? Oh, right. Oh, that's not an AMA. That's an announcement. Yeah. So what I'm looking for is recorded AMAs. What? Okay. Oh, right here. So perhaps maybe it was recorded in Wellcoin Talk and Venom calls. Oh, here we go. Venom calls. So here's the AMA that was recorded right here. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm not going to listen to it. I just want to know that they did an AMA and they recorded it, and now it's a piece of marketing that other people can use. I think that's great. I think that makes sense. I think it's smart. I think that's a way of them showing that they're willing to give their community information. I think that's fantastic. Okay. So we didn't see a lot about the team, so we don't necessarily know specifically about their background or their prior experience. So those are some questions I would ask. I would say they're in the middle, not middle age, but they're in they're not super young, but they're not my age. So that's something I'd be curious about. What prior experiences do they have? Not necessarily specifically in crypto, but crypto in addition to, what background? What skill sets have they developed that they're able to bring to the table here, and how is that going to make a difference in the project? KYC, let's do doxed. Fully doxed, check pink cell page. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to see on pink cell page that's going to answer the doxed question. Launching token to accelerate Web3 movement. The Freelancer is building a Binance-based freelancer platform. We'll use blockchain technology to create more elite freelancer ecosystem. Project ownership verified. A list of all team members. Team identity is verified with random requirements. Contract is published on mainnet. Okay, I see nothing here that indicates that they're doxed. Okay, so these badges right here, guys, they don't mean anything. And this is vanity. I'll give them an A for effort, but this doesn't mean anything to have this stuff here. This stuff can be faked and whatever. So if I'm not saying it's a red flag, I'm just saying that when you ask about doxing, they say fully doxed team, check pink cell. I mean, I'm sorry, but like that's not enough to say that you're fully doxed. Pink cell historically and consistently has done a bad job at this process. Okay. So like that right there, I mean, just having that badge. Now it is like solid proof. Okay. Okay. But again, like this is, I would say this is on the spectrum of, it's closer to fully doxed. Okay. It's closer to fully doxed, but this is not doxing. To Sleepy's point, the team is mistaking KYC for doxing. Okay, so there's a difference. This team passed KYC verification, but that's not doxing. So when someone asks if they're doxed and they say fully doxed, check pink cell, it's like, this is a little bit different. Okay, fully doxed, we just want to know who they are, what they're up to, what they've done. Are they real? Are they, you know, are they trying to keep, and again, you know, I guess the crypto space is a little different. You know, I grew up in the Web 2.0 space, and I was on MySpace and YouTube and doing a lot of marketing, and my face and name was all over the place. And I just thought that that's what we're going to do. And so like, I don't have any problem with continuing that. I mean, now we're in the crypto space, and maybe some people could be a little, you know, have some animosity about some things, but like for me, it's no big deal. Okay, so they're saying that they're doxed, but it's just KYC through solid proof. Okay, that's not really what we're looking for. Now, to my point, they do have KYC. Okay, fine, whatever that's worth. And it's more than just the, you know, just a little badge on pink cell. Audit. What was the audit? What is it? Seifu audit? I don't know anything about. I don't think I've ever heard about Seifu audit. Has anybody heard about Seifu audit? Yeah, me neither. So, okay, so let me see this real quick. Adam sounds like something he ate last week. Okay, so that's the checklist that I run through just to see, like, okay, just get a feel for what's going on. Now, having said all that, I like the project. And if you know about me, you know I am a sucker for storytelling, and I can appreciate video. And the fact that they did this before Pink Cell was hopping on the bandwagon, I like that. This project stood out to me, and this project checks enough of my boxes that I like it. Now, any questions that I have about the team, I would get to address those in Telegram, and based on the answers, I would then determine if this project is worth it for me. That's my checklist. You may have a different checklist, you know, so filter it through that lens and look through it and decide if this is something you want to get down with. But right now, there are still three days and 17 hours left. So there's plenty of time to do your due diligence, look at the project, investigate it, see if it's a good fit. Hop in the Telegram group. At the very least, hop in the Telegram group and start asking questions. Okay. One of the things that stood out. Yes. There was a project that was launching the other day, and the pre-sale had like 0.1 BNB, one contributor, and some of our members started asking questions, and they were getting blocked in Telegram. Okay, just out of curiosity, anybody feel like that's a red flag? So like, these things you can do as part of your paper trading to get good and comfortable at hopping in there, asking questions, and interacting with the team. Okay. There's nothing wasted whenever you are doing your checklist, going through the process and steps. It's never a waste. You're always gaining something. You're always learning something. And when you see people who, whether the team responds quickly or abruptly, or they don't answer at all, or they just say, look at the website, or they just say, look at the white paper. I mean, there's been times where like I've read the white paper and I'm still confused. So I ask a question, and their answer to me is, read the white paper. I'm like, well, bro, I just did. I need some help. Maybe I'm not as fast as everybody else. Maybe I'm a little slow. And so, you know, those types of feels, it's like, it's not ideal. But if that matters to you, you know, if that matters to you, that's something to obviously check out. How do they respond with, you know, the community asking questions? Do they answer them or do they ban them? Do they tell them to look at the white paper, or do they, you know, are they, you know, kind and, you know, willing to support and answer questions? So with that, does anybody have any questions or anything that they brought up or anything that they want to share about DeFi Lancer? I like the project. I think it's pretty cool, and I was hooked at the video.
Hey Ryan, I just wanted to mention that Seifu audit. I've actually seen that quite a few times.
Okay.
And it's so I'm kind of as a side project working on auditing companies.
Yeah.
to kind of rank them to see how they're doing. You know, I'm doing the top 10. I find that, you know, Certic, which we all talk about and put on a high pedestal, should be there, and it's around an 8 out of 10. There are way better audits than Certic that are out there that I've been finding.
Yeah.
This Seifu audit one comes in probably around a 3 for me.
Oh, nice.
So there is credibility there. It is
like
very
when you say a 3, do you mean like 1,
10.
2, 3, like third from, or on the bottom, top or bottom?
Yeah, third from the bottom. It's only a 3 out of 10.
Okay, I'm with you.
It's an audit that can be completed within 24 hours. It's between $800 and $1,200 to get one made. There's no waiting list to get onto it. You can they have a team. It's kind of a copy paste template kind of audit way.
Yeah.
It's basically one of the cheapest ways to get an audit, to put that badge on, or to say that you've had an audit.
Okay,
so,
like checking the box.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock into the audit. However, it is an audit, and I mean, it is a company that is still around, so they must have some sort of credibility somewhere along the line. There just isn't a whole lot to me, but
right.
It is one that is not a fly-by-nighter, and it's been around for a bit. The other thing is that, as we know, I'm very clear on, if you don't stand behind your project, I'm not standing behind you.
Right.
So at what level do we consider doxing? So
exactly.
That's $1 million question. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows the answer to that. Doxing with LinkedIn profiles really means nothing to me, because I've seen tons and tons of faked LinkedIn profiles. So I wouldn't put that assumption there that that's where it needs to be. They are in videos. They do say their names. They have what they say doxed KYC. Now, I get that's not doxing. But everything I just mentioned isn't doxing either. It's a whole package. And so what they're assuming that they're doing by doxing through this KYC company is by giving up their passports, which they have done. They've doxed to the company. They just haven't doxed to the community.
Yes.
And so there's got to be a little bit of value there. But again, it is not full doxing. And unless you stand behind your project to the whole community, which maybe they have through AMAs, I don't know. Or video AMAs, but I don't believe that warrants any credibility as far as doxing goes. So for that reason and that single reason, I would be a little bit worried about this project. And like you said, there's 3 days to do your due diligence. That's tons of time. I would wait till the 11th hour on this project, see what they do, and kind of make that call there without using any sort of emotions or FOMO at that time. But
absolutely, that is great feedback.
And again, I think it's got a strong utility, which is nice to see right now out there. And so there is some value to this project. I do like this project. It's just that whole doxing issue, which is probably a whole other daily call. What is doxing?
Absolutely, because like even so, I was trying to find the drawing tool, but I can't find it right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a snipping tool and draw something out real quick. And so like just like how we're weighing pros and cons, let me do this instead. Here we go. So just like we're weighing pros and cons with the project, stacking probabilities, we have pros and cons. We can do the same thing with like doxing, for example. It's like, is this enough to make you feel like it's good enough, or do you need more? You know, like, is this like, well, wait a second, they're confusing doxing and KYC. You know, they let I can't think of who the company was. They let the so and so know. That's good. So that's a good point over here. But they didn't let the community know who they are. And so, you know, this is, I think this is very much a personal thing about how we each feel comfortable. But yeah, to your point, Justin, like, someone can have LinkedIn, it can all be fake. It can all be fabricated, just like socials can be fake and fabricated. And so when I'm going through a checklist, it's like, okay, great. We got, where's my, whoops, I lost my, there we go. So what I'm thinking of when I'm looking at this information, when I'm like, okay, what do we have here? I'm thinking, okay, well, we have pictures, we have names, we have a compelling story. What's their background? Oh, we have a social. Oh, look at the social. Was there any pictures? Okay, there's picture. Oh, is there like any posts? When was it done? Okay, great. Oh, there's video. Oh, there's AMA. And I'm just like trying to stack all these things where it's like, okay, well, it looks like they put some effort, but that may not be the one all be all. You know, there's still a lot of holes in this process. And so, you know, that's what Justin's saying about, you know, we all could have different ideas and thoughts around, you know, what exactly we're looking for. But really, even though we could go through all this, and sometimes this whole process could be done and the team is still just full of crap. and you know, they end up doing what they wanted to do anyway, and bail. But yeah, so this is kind of like the mental checklist I'm going through when I'm listing all these things. And one of them independently is not like the one all be all, but it's like, well, it looks like for me, there's enough stuff here where, okay, I'm enrolled in what's going on. And that's a process that I go through. Anybody else have anything they want to add before we hop off here, or any questions as it relates to this project? To Justin's point, and I want to make this really, really clear, guys and gals. I keep saying guys. I hope that's not offensive. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to make this really clear. For a fair launch, you literally have as much time as you want to do your due diligence and get in when you want to. Okay? There's no reason to jump into a fair launch the moment it starts, for a handful of reasons. One, your money is now tied up for 3.5 days. This is the crypto space. If you're actually trading money right now, why would you want your money tied up for 3.5 days with no benefit? There's no benefit of setting aside right now. Okay? The project over the weekend that they ended up doing some shenanigans. Unless they said they may close the fair launch early once they reach a certain threshold, you know, I think it's fine to wait to see what goes on and make sure that you're totally comfortable and ready to go when you pull the trigger. Like, you got all your questions answered. Like, you know, maybe they didn't provide the kind of doxing that you want, but you're able to talk to them and you're able to find out stuff that they shared. And you're like, you know what? I see why they didn't want to do this for the community, but they answered all my questions and maybe I'm good to go. But like, what I'm saying is you have over 3.5 days to get all your questions asked, hopefully all your questions answered. And there's no reason to FOMO in, you know, right now, because you think it's good to go. There's plenty of time to do your due diligence and be ready to go when the time comes. So I want to make that point because, like Justin said, you know, sometimes we can get in the habit of like either watching a pre-sale and missing out because it feels so fast, or we jump into pre-sale, and you don't have to jump into a fair launch right away. There's still time. There's still plenty of time. So no FOMO, relax. It's all good. You know, ask your questions in their Telegram. Ask your questions in our Telegram. You know, after the call that we had today, we have a couple thoughts that we could share. If someone ever brought up DeFi Lancer the next 3.5 days in Telegram, you know, there's a handful of us on the call today. We could chime in what we thought about, what we liked about the call today. We could also chime in our own research and what we found. You know, Sleepy might say, well, in Telegram, they're confused between the difference between doxing and KYC. And that could be valuable for some people. Okay, so never feel like any questions that you ask or any comments that you make is not worth it or valuable, because it absolutely is. So with that, if nobody has anything else to add, I appreciate you guys for being here and for contributing and asking questions and chiming in. We're a community working together, and this is what it's all about. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being a part of the conversation. If you found today's call helpful, feel free to drop a message in Telegram, sharing with what your biggest takeaway was, what you enjoyed, or what you got most out of the call today. Invite some people to tune in on Thursday. There's so much good stuff going on behind the scenes. Every day we're getting closer and closer. It's really, really exciting what we're creating here in the space, and I think some people are just it's gonna blow their minds. And when I say that, it comes from the perspective of innovation. It comes from the perspective of development. It comes from the perspective of the ecosystem. It's not from the perspective of, oh, we're gonna 100x. That's not where my come from is. What I'm excited about is we're solving problems that some companies don't even know exist yet. And we've been so focused on the next chapter, we're not even talking about that stuff. Like, that's the stuff that gets me excited, because that's the real substance of what the Vedder ecosystem is. Whatever happens at launch is what's going to happen at launch, and we're all going to be happy about it. Great. But what I'm excited about is the real change and innovation that the team has been working on and building behind the scenes. That, my friends, is the game changer. So also, there will be some announcements coming out. I don't know how soon, but there's some pretty cool things going on behind the scenes for season 2 of Vedder Trading Club. I just want to plant that seed there. Just out of curiosity, give me a thumbs up or type in the comment section. If that's something that you are interested in being a part of, whether you watching or being a part of the actual Vedder Trading Club. I just want to get a feel for the audience right now. If that's something you want to be a part of and participate with, love to know. Perfect. All right, guys. Hey, it was a great call today. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you in Telegram and Discord. And I will end like I always do, like my mentor always said: life can be short. So for those that you care and love, let them know you care and love them. Hey, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being part of the Vedder community, and I will see you in Discord and Telegram. Bye for now.